Hey, Sonny here. So we are going to cover the second part of the song called Don't Say It Is Over by White Lion. We are going to cover where we left off in the last lesson, which is at the end of the verse, or change of the verse to the chorus. So the part we covered in the last lesson is this part right here. Alright, and so you do that like several times, and then the distortion comes in. Baby, if you go. This is when he plays the I'm sorry. Alright, so that's when we start. So the first chord is A minor. I assume you know what the A minor open chord is. And the note we play is open A, second fret of your D, while your hand's in the open A minor position. So you play the open A, second fret of your D, first fret of your B, open B, and then second fret of your B. Okay? I'm sorry, that's your first fret of your B. Alright, slowly. Okay, that's the first part. And at the very end of the measure, you play the second fret of your G again before you go to D minor. Alright, so right there we goes the second fret of your G, open D, hammer on to actually play the third fret of your D, first fret of your B, open B, hammer on to the first fret of your B, and then play the third fret of your B. So putting the two measures together slowly sounds like this. Actually, I'm sorry, play it wrong. I'm gonna do it again. Alright, that's what we have so far. So the third chord is a G chord, so you play the third fret of your open E string. I'm sorry, third fret of your low E string, and then open D, open B, and the second fret of your G. Hold it for about 1/8 note, and then open G, and go to the C chord, C power chord, which is a actually use my index finger on the third fret, and then my ring finger, my pinky is on the D5 and G5. So far the first four measure goes like this, the first three measure. So after you play the C chord, you play the arpeggio. You play the third fret of your high E string and fifth fret of your G muted, and you play the third fret again on the G on the high E string, and you hammer on and pull off on the seventh fret, and you play the third fret of your B string and the fourth fret of your G. So. Alright, so far we have this, four measure. Repeat it again. So that last part right there, we play the F chord. Your index fingers barring the entire first fret, and then your ring finger and pinkies on the A3 and D3. So you play those. So you play the first 3 string, and you play the last 2 string, and you just play the last 2 string. Basically, you play in the first fret of your B and high E string, and you play the G chord. When I play the G chords, I play the index finger, use my index finger on the 3rd fret of your low E string, and then with the bottom of my flash on my index finger blocking the A string, and then you play the open G, open D, and then the 3rd fret of your B and 3rd fret of E. So that would transition into the chorus. So again, let me play that part with the distortion. The slightly muting the string sounds really good when you have distortion on. You don't want to go. You don't want to do that, but you gotta go. All right. So start from A minor. So once we end on the G chord on the before you say goodbye, you gotta play the open A string, 2nd fret of your A slap to 3rd fret. Okay, and then the chorus start. You play the C major triad. Basically, is the A3 and D2 together as a major 3rd of C. Just those 2 notes. Don't say, and then it's over. Go 3rd fret of your A, and then 2nd fret of your D, and hammer on to 3rd fret of your D. And then open G, D3, D2, open D, and then G chord. Don't say, it's the 2nd fret of your A, over is a 3rd fret of your A, and then you play the A2, open A, E3, open E, and then to A, open A. So far we have this in the chorus. Alright, do it one more time. C major triad. Next part. You move your hand into the A minor position, but you only play in the B first, B1, 1st fret on the B string, open B, back to the 1st fret of your B, and then you play the D minor chord. You play the open D, 2nd fret of your G, and you play the 1st fret of your E, open E, 1st fret of the E again, and then 3rd fret of your B, and then you play that F chord again. So you play the bottom 3, top 2, 3 times. Make sure you mute the string once you play it. Ends on a G chord. Okay, so that's the chorus. Let me do it again. So C chord, So that's the chorus. Okay, and then we'll play the verse again, and you do the same chorus again. One thing I want to mention is that that's one lick that we did over here on the C chord. The second time around, he plays this. All right. So. All right. The second time he plays that part. Basically, it's like a D-shaped chord. You play this 12th fret of your E string, high E, 13th fret of your B, 12 on a G, back to 12 on the E, E10, hammer on the 12 and pull off on the 10, and then 12th fret on the B, 12th fret on the G. One thing I want to talk about is the fingering. So you start off on the middle finger on the 12th fret of your E string. But when you play the 12th fret on the high E string again, I don't use my middle finger, I use my ring finger instead. That way it gives me, makes it more comfortable to move my index finger down the 10th fret on the high E string. Okay, so that's that one little lick. Alright, so next part right here, I'll talk about a solo separately in a different video, but it's very important to know the chords behind the solo, and we really need to stress the point that it's really important to know, to understand, to listen to the chords. That way you can hear what the chords, how the chords interact with the solo when you play it. So, you know, the solo starts from the. Alright, so when you play the solo, right, that part right there, you start from the A minor chord. So A minor chord, one measure, F chord, just power chord, alright? G, one measure, back to A minor. 2, 3, 4. A minor again. 1, 2, 3, 4. The second, when you play that part, when you play the A minor, you'll do this. Alright. And the F. That's when we go. And then G. And then back to A minor. And the C. The C chord, you play this part. And then B over G. Basically, I'm playing two notes. I'm playing the second fret of the A and D5. That's where we go. Alright. And then next part, you play the B flat power chord. And the solo goes like this. And the F chord. And then back to C again. And then B over G. B flat again. And then do the tremolo. Oh, and when you play, and then you play the F chord. So the chords again from the behind the solo is A minor, measure, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, A minor, 2, 3, 4, A minor again, 2, 3, 4, F, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, A minor, 2, 3, 4, C 2 3 4, B G is 3 4, B flat 2 3 4, F 2 3 4, C 2 3 4, B G 3 4. I'm going to say B over G. B G 3 4, B flat 2 3 4, F 2 3 4. So that's the chords behind the solo. And after the solo, it goes to the bridge, and the bridge has a different chords too. So we'll talk about that too as well. Okay, so here's the bridge, the chords behind the bridge. Once the solo is over, and then this is the bridge comes in. So you told me you never leave me behind. That part. So it's a C chord, C open chord, and an A and the D minor seventh. Basically the notes are open D, G2, B1, and high E1. That's a D minor seventh. C again, and then F sus, and then G. A minor, F, G. That's when it goes to the chords again. But the chord, you don't just play the chord, you gotta play the arpeggio of the chords. So the first chord is a C. We'll play this like this. Okay? And then the basically is A3, D2, B1, open B, B1 again, and then next part. So you play this third fret on the A, but this one note right here, the A3, you play that right before the measures start. So the measures actually start. The measures start from the open D string. So we play again C chord. Okay. So that part right there go A3, open D, D3, B1, open B, B1. So that's the D minor seventh arpeggio. C. Oh, so start from the beginning. C arpeggio. D minor. The next part is back to C again. We'll play it differently. We play like this. What I'm doing is I play the D2, open G, B1, open B, B1. Next one is F sus2. We play this. What I'm doing here is I play the third fret of the D, open G, B1, open B, B1. The next part is the next chord is a G. So that's open G, open D, B1, open B, B1, and then A minor again. So it's G2, D2, B1, open B, B1, and then F chord. So repeat the chords again. So I'm going to play the bridge again slowly, the whole thing. C, D minor 7, back to C again, F sus2, G, F chord, just do F power chord, and then G. is over. Back to the chorus again. So that's pretty much all the rhythm of the song, and I will cover the solo in a separate video. Thanks for watching.